Hello, my squirrely minions. Lord Cracker Squirrel here, and welcome to SquirrelPlay. This is the third of the holiday hijink series for 2016. And for this particular video, we have Magical X Spiral. You can guess what that actually winds up coming out to. It was released just a couple of days ago, on the 20th of September 2016. And we get to
December.
climb a tower with a controller. This is actually our third attempt to get video of this. The first one failed because the keyboard controls are just wonky. The second, of course, failed because the game itself got into an argument with both XSplit and the NVIDIA drivers, and my whole machine locked down. We were trying to get through the options menu and it was not working very well. So, how about we give this one more shot? And we should actually have...
Well, let's try.
Let's see what we got. Alright, where did I put it? There it is. Click. Okay, double click. Same difference today. Alright. Okay, as you can see, the controller has already been set up. We're going to switch this back into window mode, because reasons. And watch the damn thing crash again. Alright, looks like the game has decided it doesn't want to operate correctly. So we're going to shut that down and we're going to restart it. Lucky us, it didn't take the whole machine with it this time.
Yeah.
Alright, sound has not been adjusted. We're going to turn that down a little bit because I don't want to deal with, there's some things I don't want to deal with. We can leave that like the way it is. General, we get, okay, the general configuration is Japanese or English. Okay. Controller, hope like frack that you can get things going correctly. But that was actually all wired back to front and upside down. So let's go for a new game. This looks like it might actually work this time. If you're running this game, be very, very careful about the way you do things in the options menu. The voiceover is in Japanese. Floating islands. Islands that float on air.
寒くなれば魔法で火を起こし、暑くなれば魔法で雨を降らせ、悠々自適な生活を送っていました。
They live without a care in the world. I expect that that's actually just a story.
魔法使いたちによって発展しました。魔法の力で農作物をたくさん生み出し、石や金属を加工して建物や道具を自在に作り出しました。町は栄え、国は起こり、文字通り空に浮かぶ楽園が出来上がったのです。天上界の魔法使いは私たちの住む地上界にも降り立ち、さまざまな魔法の技術を伝えました。そして地上界も天上界と共に栄えていきました。しかしある時を境にその夢の世界は終わりを告げます。度重なる大災害によって天上界との交流は途絶え、いつしか私たち地上の民は魔法を失ってしまいました。
So are you buying this, Fox?
こんなのただのおとぎ話だと思ってました。
So far, no.
でも天上界は確かにあるはずなんです。 そしてこれが天上界と地上界を結ぶ無限の塔。
I love how they had that crawl, and they had more exposition right afterwards.
Yeah.
なぜあるのか誰も知らない
That's
と言われ
actually
てきま
bad
したが、
form.
古文書の記述が正しければ。
But this actually was produced by Sakai Project, and I usually get on with their games. So This one here just doesn't seem to have made the transition very well.
やっぱり何も起こらないですよね。
Duh.
うわわ
What? Oh. Apparently our young lady does in fact have some ability.
おー久しぶりの中堅生ね。それにしてもこれまた
The power of fire,
幸せそう
salamander.
な子だね。へんてこな生き物が出てきました。
No, I'm a fire spirit. Get over
へん
yourself.
てことは失礼ね。
Yes, it is.
私はあんたのサポーターを務める火の精霊サラマンダー。ミドガルドから来ましたメディアンヌ・フィルティアです。
Please note that she's supposedly from Midgard.
覚えにくい名前ね。じゃあメディちゃんって呼ぶわ。この塔が天上界につながっていることは知ってるよね。やっぱり天上界は存在するんですね。
Of course it exists. Median.
そうだよ。ただ誰でもってわけにはいかなくて、試験で魔法使いにふさわしいかどうかを見る。塔にはいろいろな試練が用意されているから、それをクリアしつつ頂上まで登っていくってわけ。
Okay.
塔を登るって無限の塔って何百いや何千メートルってありますよね。
Thousands of meters high. That's going to be a problem.
落ち着いてメディちゃん。この塔は魔力が満ちているから、魔法を使えばそれほど辛い手数じゃないんだよ。
Okay, so there's lots of
こう
mana.
使ってちょっと目をつぶってもらえる？こうですか？何ですか今の？ちょっと魔力のショックを与えて魔法を使えるようにしてあげたの。私魔法を使えるんですか？
Yeah, that's what she just said.
そうだよ。まあサラマンダーさんありがとうございます。よろしく。さん付けなんてしなくていいわ。じゃあ早速行ってみようか。はい。
Let's take a look at the operation descriptions. Okay, this is actually set up for a PlayStation controller. No wonder I was having problems with the Xbox 360 controller. I'm guessing this will have been some sort of a port probably from PlayStation 2, from a late PlayStation or early PlayStation 2 era. X button and Y button together. Boop. Alright. Okay. Yep, it has X and Y together to summon them once you're completely synced.
I love the use of Japanese letters in that tutorial screen.
Yeah, that's actually a semi-failure of that's the not quite failure of okay, so we can now save. That way if it breaks again we don't have a problem with it. Alright. Already got that one. I can't buy those though. Upgrades. We can do some upgrades.
Okay, so she had that magic rod, right?
Yep.
But she didn't know she could do magic?
Well, apparently apparently it was, I don't know what the hell was going on with that. But apparently it's a thing, so...
Probably she had the family thing.
It could be anything.
It could be anything.
It could
Found
be
it.
literally anything.
It can be anything. It's left for you to pull out of your ass and.
Well, you know, that kind of thing does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's go for one more point of magic defense, because that's going to be a thing. Alright, I think we've managed to just about run ourselves out of money, so I think we're actually going to be okay for the moment. Alright, let's have a look at the first game, or for the first map here.
Or maybe her great-great-great-grandmother was a musician. I don't know. Who cares?
The main reason I brought it up was the just the fact they had so much exposition, and yet she didn't even know she could do magic and have that magic staff.
What?
One
She
extra
used it to open the...
She used it to open the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So in a way, she kind of expected something from it.
Mm-hmm.
But so the bosses are cat ball creatures.
Probably commonly referred to as meow. Funk. Okay, we can actually get a little bit of a look around with if we press in the left stick. The only thing is that left stick so you can look up and down is actually fairly sensitive.
How is the controller doing with
Now that I've actually got it mapped out properly, it works pretty well. And okay, that's it for the first map. Let's have a look at the next one.
on behalf of the cats in the world, I file a complaint.
What?
On behalf of the cats of the world, I file a complaint
What kind of complaint would that be?
that the bosses were kept like creatures.
Apparently I'm supposed to be able to return to the intermission from anywhere, but I'm not seeing where that's actually even possible. I was looking for a way to do that. Oh, crunch! Oh, and I got dropped all the way to the floor. Almost all the way to the floor.
I love how the rockets can go up the hill without losing any momentum.
Yeah, I know, right? Alright, so that's going to be it for this. Boy, that learning curve's kind of icky, I think. And you can only save from the shop. So that's at least something. Okay, so now that we have an idea of how this works, any thoughts, guys?
Too much exposition.
I've seen a lot worse, especially in visual novels. Japanese games tend to do that, and we're okay with that, kind of.
But is this supposed to be a visual novel or a tower climbing game with magic?
I think kind of both, really. I'm not sure.
What did Fox mean with too much exposition?
Specifically, like, you had that crawl of text at the beginning, and then you had a lot of backstory about stuff you've already been told about.
That is a Japanese habit. That's not something that we do here in the States. I'm willing to forgive them a little bit of that. Just not as much as some people might. And I know sooner or later someone's going to come yelling at me about how we have to bow to culture. But there's a limit to what you can. There's really a limit to that. So.
Well, since I'm very used to the anime style stuff, I didn't even notice what Fox brought here, so that's why I asked for an explanation. Yeah, it's a thing. They sometimes, or sometimes they don't even bother to explain. And they give some kind of visual novel treatment even for things that are not visual novels. And then again, it's a cultural thing, and that's how it is.
Okay. Once again, if this is the kind of game that you like, then hooray. That would be great for you. I happen to think I actually think it's quite neat. It's something that I'll probably return to and play later when I've got time. Taking this next week or so off to do a few extra things, I might actually get through and try and get to the end of this particular game. Although I still have to do Final Fantasy 15, so we shall see when I can get around to doing a real thorough treatment of this game. There's one thing I will give it, and that's the controls are not nearly as floaty as some other games that I've noticed. Although the push for the left stick and the interruptus that causes is a little annoying, and it's kind of a thing I wish I could just skip. If I could disable that function, I'd be great.
It would be interesting to see if it was more manageable on a PlayStation controller.
I'd be willing to bet it is, because you can actually put more. You actually can put more force on a PlayStation controller, and it won't a little bit more force on it, and it won't trigger. I suspect that the problems we were having is because it was actually based on an original PlayStation, or something not dissimilar to it. Certainly, its basic layout suggests that it's a PlayStation or early PlayStation 2 era game. Back before analog sticks were really a thing. The graphics suggest the same.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, a lot of PlayStation games look kind of like that. It had lots of little charms. And it doesn't upset me, but it does actually it does make things kind of wonky if you don't have a PlayStation controller that actually does what it's supposed to, that does that kind of thing. Because a PS3 controller would probably be brilliant for this, but a PlayStation 4 controller wouldn't work because it doesn't have the same button layouts. This Xbox 360 controller I want to pitch against the wall about now, but it did get the job done, and I would not recommend this with a keyboard. Holy crap! You are actually asking to die like that. You are asking to get your butt kicked and want to break monitors, or destroy thousands of dollars worth of computer. So yeah.
I will say that I actually did find that feature to be very good design, and especially in that it helps you out, but it wasn't inherently necessary.
Right. If you can see what's above you and what's below you, you know how far you got to fall if you happen to fall off a ledge. And this one here is what I like to think of as a low failure state game. If you fail, you just go back, as opposed to having to do, you know, a million, as opposed to like having a complete game over and just getting your butt kicked.
You don't really die. You just have to. You just have to go back to the previous stage.
Well, no, you have to go back. You go back to the intermission, or you go back first to this stage.
Yeah.
If you fall off, you're not really taking any damage, but at the same time, you're going to have to go through all that shit again. And the furthest back you can go is the beginning of the stage. So it's not a big problem. It's just a whole set of little ones, and really not very many. Technologically, it seems like it's actually fairly solid. Of course, there's the objection to, you know, blobs of nyap running around the battlefield trying to eat you, and rocks we can't destroy for the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my issues with the technical is it seems like it needs to be fleshed out more. Like the 3 graphics options, the massive issues you had rebinding your keys.
Yeah.
And the fact that a game is as unfriendly as it is with a keyboard.
Yeah. Because there are people that don't have controllers. And this is not a game I would recommend if you don't have one. Because you will wind up having a pain in the backside.
Yeah, because I had added this game to my wish list, and I removed it from my wish list because I am going through a major rehaul of my desktop, and I will have to buy a new laptop, and so I'm not buying a controller now.
Well, and of course, mine's a cheap shit rock candy. I think I gave $20 for it. So.
Okay, but yeah, a controller is not on my mind right now.
Well, no, that's probably not the first. That probably not wouldn't be the top of my list either, if we're being completely honest. A nice heavy-duty mic would probably be better, but or an optical drive, you know, little things. Alright, so that's going to be Magical X Spiral for right now. I will probably come back at a later time with a full review. But for now, be safe, be sane, and
let's make games fun again. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, folks. But we'll see you.